Yeah, I know I need a haircut. Quit haranguing me about my hair. Come on, man. I was just, traveling.
Dirty hippie.
So you guys proved that you could do the show without me. I guess I can retire now. Good job.
I just proved that I can't run Zoom worth a damn.
Release the dust and cut.
I saw that on Twitter. Release the dust and cut.
And that's what it would be. It would be 35 minutes of this. Just me and everybody talking in the background.
People want to look at you. They'll look at you for 30 minutes.
I don't want to edit me for 30 minutes.
Look at him just sitting there listening.
Yeah. Nodding. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin nods. So thank you to Jesse Brooks from Dad's Planning and, of course, Sign Peaks for coming on and talking about his Kickstarter initiative that's going to be coming out very, very soon. And it looks good. Tonight we have a guest, or today, or whenever you're listening or watching this, we have a guest. His name is Kevin Gillese. He used to be with Dad's Garage, but he left Dad's Garage to pursue his quest of creating a film, and we'll get into that in a little bit later. The movie is called How to Ruin the Holidays movie. How to Ruin the Holidays, but you can check it out at howtoruintheholidaysmovie.com. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So the reason I wasn't on the show the other day is because I was traveling. I went up north. I left about a week ago and drove to West Virginia, spent the night in Martinsburg, West Virginia. And the sad thing is, as I'm a waning smoker, I'm going to be wrapping it up because, we're going to have a kid and you can't.
No more Mokente.
No more Mokente. But no hotels anymore offer smoking. And if they do, shitholes. So, that's it. You can't do it. Or you could pay the $250, but I'm not about to do that. But usually in the old days, whenever I'd stay in Martinsburg, I would go over to the casino, which is nearby near Harper's Ferry, Charlestown, and gamble over there. But I didn't go. I didn't want to do their thing where you have to wear masks. And, I like to play 2 slot machines at the same time because I'm cool like that.
Is that your game of choice?
There,
casino?
They have table games now, so I would probably play blackjack for a little bit just to kill time, or video poker. I don't. That's easy. Sometimes you win money playing that, or I do. Yeah. So I drove up and I made it into Pennsylvania. Gosh, when was it? Saturday morning, and I went over to my aunt and uncle's house and got to hang out with them. It was a treat. I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and we had what they call Pennsylvania mountain surf and turf, which is trout and venison. It was delicious. Plus my aunt made her potato salad, which is pretty good. But I got to see my cousin, who I haven't seen in a while, and his kids and his wife, and watch a baseball game. My cousin is an assistant baseball coach for the town is called Coudersport, and he's the assistant baseball coach for their team. They're called the Falcons.
Go Falcons.
Go Falcons. And they won. But it was some of the sloppiest baseball I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're young. So if you're watching a regular baseball game, you don't see tons of errors. In this game, you saw tons of errors and bad base running and stuff like that. But they're kids, so they'll learn eventually. And I guess on Sunday morning, I got up and I drove to a town called Mount Morris, New York, and saw my friends Mark and Shannon, who I lived with when I moved to Atlanta in 1996. Now their kids are all grown up, and they have a nice house in this town. And then our friend Larry came over to visit us. And we had a great time. I went to a bunch of breweries and I got shit-faced. And I, for some reason, prank called Adam Carolla at 1 a.m. I have no idea why.
You prank called the Ace Man?
I don't know what I said or what the person who answered the phone said. I just know that it was in my phone. I don't have this much anymore because I don't drink very often. But I woke up in that morning in a panic. I'm like, what did I do? And I looked at my phone and we tried to call somebody. I don't know who it is. There's just a number there.
I'm going to tell Ira to reach out to Carolla and see if he wants to come on and take you on for prank on them.
I don't even know what I said. I mean, I've prank called people in the past, like Oh, guys, that the gruff guy from comedy from the Lewis Black. I've called him, but I called Lewis Black one time in the early 2000s. I said, "Hey, you want to suck my cock?" He goes, "Sure, I'll suck your cock. Bring it over here. I'll suck your cock." And that was the last time I spoke to him. But let's see. We went to a park where my friend got accosted by Bigfoot one time, and that was a lot of fun. And it was just a blast. It's great. Huh? He said he heard Bigfoot there one time, so we went. But we were all drunk, so who knows? But we went to these neat breweries, those microbreweries. There's a lot of them up there in the Finger Lakes area. I didn't see Syracuse Sam, thankfully. He's in prison, but, God knows when he's going to get out.
Thank God.
So I am going to be fully vaccinated as of this weekend. So now is the time to party.
Yeah, you still got to wait 2 weeks after. I hit 2 weeks tomorrow.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Did you have any after effects? Which one did you get?
Pfizer. No after effects. My arm was a little sore after the first one.
Uh-huh.
The second shot, you know how I hate needles.
Yeah.
And I don't look or anything. The second shot, it was the same guy administered it at the Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even feel the second shot. And then the next day, my arm hurt a little tiny bit, but not as bad as the first time.
Right.
And that was it.
Oh, well, good. Dustin, have you been vaxxed yet?
No, not yet. I had an appointment and I missed it from work.
Are you
And
anti-vax, or is that why?
no, my wife got hers. She's got her second one. She had it rough on the second shot. She was in bed for a couple of days.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was weird. The first one, she was, it was just fine, but the second one kind of hit her pretty hard.
Which one did she get?
Moderna.
Oh man.
Too bad you guys got those Moderna shots, man. Because I heard if you got the Moderna shot, you won't be able to catch COVID-20. Which it doesn't make you sick at all. It just makes your dick 5 inches longer.
Oh God! Well, I guess I'll go out and find that and get it.
Well, I can't wait for my wife's dick to get 5 inches bigger.
That would be something else that got 5 inches bigger. That would be awful. It'd be terrible, but at least you'd be able to find it. So there's my trip back home, and the countdown is on for when Tim Jr. shows up. That's not his name, but that's Tim Jr. show up.
So, I heard you went up Peter North. Was that something that happened while you were there?
I went up, and then I came back down on him, and it hurt like a. So Tom Byron got his jab the other day. He's not used to getting jabbed himself.
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In the 90s, there was a period there.
Oh yeah, I might as well. I need the money.
Yeah.
On May 16th, which is a Sunday, from 2 to 5 p.m., you can come see us at Atlanta Pizza in Euro. Mike Hall will be offering 5 different types of pizza stations with a few different choices, the typical. And they'll have one with Euro meat. And of course, he'll be making my favorite, the Reuben, hands off. They'll have easy on food service gloves to let everybody self-serve, so you don't have to worry about catching the Roni. And they will have hand sanitizer, so you can, and they'll also give you a Greek salad. So that's nice, because the pizza place, they always have the really good Greek salads. Go ahead.
$8.99, right?
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
For potluck or anything that anybody wants to bring, we are discouraging that, unless you, of course, bring desserts or donuts or cake or something that you bought or made that won't make everybody sick. We have free soft drinks, Coke products, and sweet tea for any person who shows up. And it's a very, very, very affordable price of $8 for adults, $5 for kids. And we will pass a bucket around at the end of the thing to make sure that we take care of the staff that, is working on that day. And if you're wondering, they will have beer for sale. You can get their beer. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to get yourself some beer.
Looks like you're going to have another chance to see that really cool new boxer that's been brought into our.
No, this is his brother.
Oh, it's actually his brother. It's not Paul.
Logan Paul is going.
Oh, okay. So I guess he's got to one up his brother then. So he's just figured he'd just go right to Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, they say it's going to be an exhibition match.
Okay.
But that's all that he does. That's all Mayweather does pretty much, anymore. I think it's the last 2 fights he's had since McGregor has been exhibition matches, and one was an MMA fighter and the other was a kickboxing match.
Right.
So this ought to be, it ought to be a good moneymaker for them both, and that's about all it'll be. That in a torrential beating.
Is it same horrible company producing it?
They'll get Tim's money for sure.
Oh no, this is Showtime. So yeah, Showtime.
I think Mayweather had a little more pull than they did when it comes to setting up, with a company. So yeah, this one hopefully will at least have some legitimate production.
Right. It won't be ridiculous.
Yeah. But we'll see. It looks like it's going to be in June.
Okay.
In LA.
All right. I'll probably find a place to watch that online where I don't have to pay.
Yeah, I think most people will.
What pays for boxing? I might pay for UFC or something if I was into it, but
if Showtime is one of the producers, though, does that mean like a week or two after the pay-per-view they'll show it on Showtime?
I don't know. It used to be that way.
Yeah, they used to do those. I remember they'd have like midweek fights, and then they'd do like a Saturday night. They'd replay it or something. Yeah.
I hope to be able to see it without doing the pay-per-view. I can't afford pay-per-view.
No,
most
people can't.
Let's see. Also, we got this was interesting. Citizen Kane, excellent movie. Probably one of the most best reviewed movies that there is.
Right.
Even Rotten Tomatoes had it 100%. Been 100% since it's been on Rotten Tomatoes since their inception. But in the last week of March, for some reason they pulled out an 80-year-old review that was a negative review, and it dropped them from 100% to 99%.
Now, why would they do that?
I don't know. It seems to me like this was someone's jab at the movie for some reason. It's the only thing I could think of. I mean, you realize that now that it's been pulled from the 100% mark, there's only two other films that have a 100% mark. One of them is Terminator. The other is a Godzilla movie from 1985.
The original Terminator?
It's a Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's such an iconic movie. And I think it sounds to me like someone just doesn't like it having that moniker.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to stir stuff up. Because I mean, one, why would you pull I understand they're constantly updating some of these, and they change because there's reviews that come out years after and they'll add them to them and it'll change. But I don't see the reason of going back 80 years to find one just to throw the average off.
That's weird because the Chicago Tribune competed with Hearst newspapers, and Citizen Kane is, based on William Randolph Hearst. So you'd think that they would give it a positive review. Maybe the guy who wrote the review, and let's face it, it was the 30s or 40s. It was a guy probably, but they used a pseudonym. Matinee.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. One stupid forgotten review. What does that make? So now it's down to 99%, which means it's not a good movie anymore.
Yeah.
For all those people are only watching 100% Rotten Tomatoes certified movies.
Right.
You can now only watch 2 movies.
I watched it. Recently. I loved it. I'd never seen it until.
That's great. I was surprised you hadn't, because Eric would harangue you all the time to watch it.
That's kind of why I didn't watch it.
You should have watched it even before you started working with Eric.
Oh, I know. I don't know why I never did. Maybe it was on. No, because I didn't remember any of it. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and I still haven't watched Mank yet, but I want to watch it.
Are you going to go out and buy the cane from Citizen Kane now?
What cane?
That was on The Simpsons one time.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the picture of Lisa on this article. The cane from Citizen Kane. No, I'm not going to go buy the cane.
And it looks like
about the Flintstones.
Yeah, the Flintstones. They're doing a sequel series at Fox and from Warner Brothers. It's got Elizabeth Banks voicing Pebbles, so I'm assuming it's going to be. How do you do a sequel to something that's 10 million years old?
Yeah, instead of being set in 2 million BC, it's set in 2 million 20 BC.
Yeah.
Were you guys interested in a Flintstones?
No.
Revisit?
No. I didn't like any of the movies.
Yeah.
No,
Depends on when it's on. I'd check it out.
yeah, I'll watch it. But they did God, oh God, they did an update. The '70s update where the kids were in a band.
Yeah, where they were teenagers.
Right. So I guess Fred and Wilma are going to be like grandparents and old. Hey, Bonnie.
Yeah, they'll just be. I don't really see their characters changing that much. I mean, you could pretty much make them, 80-year-old Fred and Barney, and they'd probably still be exactly the same.
They're gonna have to. Update it a little bit as far as it not just being white cavemen. They're gonna have to have some representation from other walks of life, I would assume, to make it valuable. What network is it going to be on?
I don't know. ABC.
McFarlane was going to do an update of it for Fox. Remember?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be called Bedrock. So I guess they're kind of, that's the way they're being a little more inclusive to everything else. I guess they're kind of throwing out the Flintstones as a family.
Okay. That's okay, Barney.
The technology will have evolved so much in 20 years between the series. Instead of a T-Rex, they'll have to use a Velociraptor for a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, and then it'll kill everybody.
Well, that's the weird part. You think the gadgets and appliances that they used in the 60s, are they going to equate appliances and stuff that's modern now to that time? So, what's going to be an iPhone? What's going to be
hey, Bonnie, I got the new iRock. Oh, you got a Camaro, Fred? Oh, it's a telephone, stupid. What is that, the bird that always went, it's a living?
Yeah, that always set in the window.
Garbage disposal or whatever.
Yeah. The iRock. It's a bird. I don't know. Of course, I'll watch the first episode just to see what it's all about. But I didn't, the Flintstones, I liked it, but then I didn't like it. I got tired of it, because how many episodes were there? There were a ton, but there were some in black and white, and then there were some in color. I always liked the ones with the Martian guy. What was his name? Do you guys remember the name of the Martian?
Kismet?
Kismet?
Wasn't it Kismet?
Oh, Gazoo.
Gazoo, yeah.
The Great Gazoo.
Gazoo.
That's what it was. We were just talking with Saul Stanley last week, and this topic didn't come up. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons are also going to have a 2-night A&E biography coming out in June over 2 nights. It's a 4-hour biography.
Mm-hmm. First of all, it's Stanley is my first name, and my last name is Eisen, but you can call me Paul Stanley, okay?
So how's this one going to be different from the Netflix?
Things. Okay, this is a biography, like they used to have Peter Graves do it, but since he's in the grave, there's a new guy doing it. But then before that, or gal, I don't really know. I mean, before him, it was Mike Wallace, and Mike Wallace is dead also. He was on 60 Minutes, if you remember 60 Minutes. So what's going on is we have the 2-night A&E biography, which will be really cool. And then we have the documentary movie that's sort of like the Motley Crue one, but won't be as stupid.
It looks
I
like
think that ever top Kiss Meets the Phantom of the amusement park or whatever that was called. What was that, Jeff? You saw it.
Kiss Meets the Phantom.
Yeah, Kiss Meets the Phantom.
Of the amusement park, wasn't it? Where Ace...
There was an amusement park in the movie, yeah.
Space Ace shot lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah, all those robot versions of you guys.
I know.
You still have any of those hanging around?
Just the female ones. I think Peter Criss kept a couple of his so he could, sleep in his heroin stupor while he played drums. Because they knew all of our skills and they almost took over for us. Sometimes I think Gene is actually one of those robots because he doesn't seem to age.
Let the Right One In is going to have a pilot Showtime. I think they should have left that with the original movie.
Yeah, they already remade the movie once, and that was terrible.
It was awful. One of Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
The original movie was pretty good. Wasn't that one of the Skarsgårds?
It was where the Skarsgårds are from, but I don't think it had any of the Skarsgårds in it.
I think the original one had, maybe not. I could be wrong. I'm checking right now. It was really good. That movie. It was scary and the acting was really, really good.
And it was
No,
a real touching story.
Yeah, it was very good. It was sad but
Mhm.
entertaining story. And then the American one stunk. Skarsgård, I'm thinking about the girl with the dragon tattoo or whatever. Another from the same, Scandinavian era that was area that was remade into an English film. But yeah, I don't know why they would need to do it. I guess they haven't made enough money. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, unless this is going to take a route of once the movie's over and that's where it's going to pick up, and it could be interesting, but I don't think they should try to wrap it so closely to the original movie, especially by using the original name.
Right.
The English name was Let Me In?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the short.
But looks like The Rock is arrived in Atlanta ahead of filming for Black Adam, which is supposed to start.
Smell something cooking. I didn't know what it was.
So I guess they've if he's showing up. I mean, I know that we've had some folks, some radios that have been around this production. So if the main character is finally starting his stuff, then it's ramping up. So we should see them popping up around town. If anybody can find out what the sign code is, and let us know, that'd be good.
The day I got home, I had to go to the store, and in the middle of downtown Tucker, they had a bunch of cops there and a bunch of signs, and they were shooting.
The comic book store in Tucker is featured in a Disney Plus show.
Oh yeah,
that Infinite Realities where we went for the grand opening.
Yeah, Infinite Realities. Wow, what show?
I don't know. I don't think they've said the name of it.
Oh,
but they're filming it right now at Infinite Realities downtown Tucker.
And maybe that's where they were. They were over at Kofar, which is like a construction and stuff materials place. It was right downtown. It was pretty neat. It was right across the street from Matthew's Cafeteria. Beautiful downtown Tucker, Georgia.
Besides the KISS documentaries that are going to be rolling in this summer, we've also got a documentary for Anthony Bourdain. I guess they've been working on this one, for a long time, trying to get it right. But they say it's supposed to, document his global traveling experiences after his stint in all the restaurants and everything else. Once he kind of became this, traveling,
it's not
wandering.
It's not going to be the documentary that everybody wants to see about how he got tangled up with those people that killed him.
Yeah.
And like his girlfriend and all of her friends in the Pizzagate community.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All those murderers and government. No, he didn't do any of that stuff. I loved Anthony Bourdain. I thought he was. It sucks that he died like he did. But his show, I liked his show, but I also liked Andrew Zimmern, and I liked how they would make fun of each other.
But the best news that I heard this week came out just today. Robert Kirkman's Invincible is not only renewed for another season, but another 2 seasons.
Wow. Did you guys talk about that? I guess you must have. The most recent episode that was on was really good.
Yeah, we talked about it a little, but we'll talk more Monday about the season finale.
Oh, that's right. It's this week.
Out tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that episode was really, really good. I will talk more about it. And I got to finish a couple other things. And we'll talk more about TV and everything. But congratulations to Kirkman. That's good. And probably won't last as long as Walking Dead. But
I don't know. I started looking into the comic book, and I think the original comic book went like 130 some issues. And so issues are covered in the first season, but I imagine it's probably 12 at the most, but probably more likely 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the first season. So I think it could last a while. And then there's offshoots and stuff too.
Yeah, I found that out this week, that there was a couple of offshoot books of other characters they kept going. So, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of arcs, but I guess this one's that major, whatever the answer is in this finale to why, that's kind of the ultimate question with this whole series. So I guess we'll find out this weekend.
Did you go to Mansfield at all?
Yeah, I drove through. I always go and look at my. Oh, by the way, thank you for the news, Dustin. I went through and I visited my mom's headstone and told her when sometimes you go to a headstone and talk to people that aren't really there. My wife said, "Did she have anything to say?" And I said, "Yeah, her bony hand clawed through and." And then I said, "No, I'm just kidding. She was cremated."
And then you killed Ralphie while you're up there.
Ralphie.
Barnes.
Oh, no, that was sad. There's a guy, Dustin, from our town who, he was a staple. There's people that he and his brother were staples, and that was pretty sad.
He would pretend he was a cop. He had like a one of those white cars that cops use for like unmarked cars.
Yeah.
And he would like sit down in the parking lot of the bowling alley and like pretend he was doing a speed trap.
Yeah. Yep.
I think every small town has those guys. Where I grew up, there was a guy named Freddie Fagan. Everybody knew him, and he knew everybody. But it was like, it's an interesting. I think somebody needs to do a documentary on those individuals.
Yeah.
How about the two sisters that used to walk around? We had several different names for them. They're these overweight old ladies with huge tits. And what do we call them?
Topsy and Turvy.
Yeah, but they had other names like Shit and Piss. Horrible. And then there was another dude that walked around that Jeff and his friends called Sony Walkman. Because he just walked everywhere. He had like a patent leather jacket with belts. Who was the other one? Oh, Jeff tried to give wax lips to our homeless lady, our town home. She wasn't homeless, but she was kind of a bag lady. Everybody called her a bag lady. And Jeff tried to give her lips, and she went, "Get the fuck away from me." Wax lips.
Why did they sell those wax lips? They were totally worthless. They weren't candy.
No, they weren't candy. Hey, our guest is ready to pop up. So I just want to say thanks again, Dustin. And real quick, I see that you have Who Died on here. Carl LeBeau was a comedian. You go ahead and do it, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, he toured with Kennison. We saw him.
Yeah, he was
Kennison the time we got to see Sam.
Yep, in Binghamton at the Broome County Arena. He was funny at Carl LeBeau.
And he passed. And the other person that died was Michael Collins, one of the Apollo 11 astronauts.
Well, rest in peace to both of them. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk to our guest, Kevin Gillese.
Check it out, everybody. I'm going to be in a movie.
But first, we got to raise some money on Kickstarter.
Movies ain't cheap, fools.
And I'm going to be in the movie with you, Luke. And guess who else? I'll give you a hint. He is a comedy icon.
Is it Improv guy Colin Mochrie?
I don't know how I got roped into this.
How to Ruin the Holidays is a feature-length Christmas movie with a lot of heart.
It tells the story of a struggling comedian who reluctantly goes home for the holidays and has to deal with her incredibly difficult family.
It also has a lot of dirty, inappropriate jokes. Shut up! I'm trying to make a video here. Sorry. I'm babysitting.
Hey, we should introduce the dummies that are making this thing.
Hi, I'm Arlen, the director of the film.
And I'm Kevin, the writer. And unlike some people, we love Christmas and Christmas movies.
I hate Christmas!
And we want to make our own Christmas classic, so this project is our love letter to the genre.
But because it's us, there's going to be a good dose of adult humor mixed in.
Son of a nutcracker!
I based the script on my experiences growing up with my brother Mark, who has special needs.
Story of my life.
Folks with special needs are rarely portrayed on film.
Yeah, no shit.
And when they are, it's usually one-dimensional, overly sentimental, and treating adults with special needs like kids.
Yeah, no shit.
So we're making a movie that reverses all that. It's about a struggling comedian in LA.
That's me.
Who reluctantly comes back to Atlanta for the holidays and has to deal with her dad, who's kind of gone off the deep end.
That's me.
And ultimately she has to make a life-changing decision about her brother.
That's me.
But we can't make this movie without your help.
Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told some people you were in trouble with it. They scattered all over town collecting money.
So we're turning to you, the internet.
On this project, we're partnering with Atlanta's favorite comedy theater, Dad's Garage, which is a non-profit. So that means all of your donations are tax deductible.
And there's a lot of hot sizzle and perks to choose from.
And a fantastic team that I'm so excited to work with. Except for Kevin. He's an asshole.
So please, click the link below.
And donate to make this thoughtful, hilarious, and unique film a reality.
If you can't donate, give our page a share because spreading the word helps us out so much.
We thank you for your consideration and can't tell you how much your support means to us.
Because representation matters. And I also just really want to be in a movie.
All right. Joining us on Radio Labyrinth right now as our guest, was born on December 24th, 1980. So on Christmas Eve, he gets to open his birthday presents, and on Christmas Day, he gets his Christmas presents. He's an actor and a writer known for Turnbuckle, Purple Gas, Too True to Be Real. I'm reading this right off of his IMDb page. And he has been married to Amber Nash since November 5th, 2012. So if you want to send them an anniversary card this year, now you know when they got married. But I know him from Dad's Garage, where he was involved with the improv troupe and all the great things that they've done over the years for a very long time. Kevin, it's nice to see you again. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Good to see you too.
Yeah. Do you know Jeff and Dustin? Those are the co-hosts.
Hello.
Tonight.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How's it going?
So for the longest time, I've known you as Mr. Dad's Garage, and now, of course, I took classes there for a couple of. I took the first two, and then I was probably too chicken or lazy or a bitch or something and didn't finish the class. But I had a lot of fun, and I have to say that taking those classes helped my radio performance a great deal, and I mean that with all sincerity. So I'm glad.
Because you stopped going blue instantly, because that was your go-to. Improv.
Yeah, I went blue too much. But no, you're on tonight to talk about a really cool project that you have in a Kickstarter, and it looks like you're almost there, and you need something to push you over the edge to get you to that final goal that you have set. But let's talk about it. It's a movie called How to Ruin the Holidays. And I just want you to talk about it because I've read everything. I watched the trailer, which was very, very funny, or the Kickstarter video that you made, which was very funny. Tell everybody about How to Ruin the Holidays.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, we really need that, that Radio Labyrinth boost. We need that bump because we're about 90% of the way there through our Kickstarter right now, which is actually just wild because we had planned on a 30-day campaign and we're on day like 9.
Wow.
So
you got any stretch goals for if it gets fully funded early?
We do. So because obviously, we're already making this thing on the barest of bones. So even getting an extra 10 grand or 20 grand or whatever it is transformative. But I won't get into that now. I'll just kind of tell you guys a little bit about the project, I guess.
Yeah, please.
Well, okay. So the best way for me to talk about the project is actually to go back a little bit and give a little context because a few years back, I got invited to do a project with the Spotlight program, which operates out of the MJCCA. And the Spotlight program basically gives opportunities for actors with developmental and cognitive disabilities to do projects. And they had approached dads, maybe we can do an improv unit or something like that, right?
Yeah.
They didn't really know. They just thought, oh, come on, we'll get dads. But what they didn't know is that I have a brother with this type of disability. And so this is like so close to my heart. And I never had a chance to do something kind of in that world, I guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I probably was a little bit scared, to be honest, because it's like, comedy can be nasty. It can be irreverent and disrespectful. And I love that about comedy, but I didn't ever want to bring that into that world because it's so precious to me,
Right.
But then when I was thrust into this project and I kind of said, before I even knew the words coming out of my mouth, like, well, let's do short film instead. And the fee that the program had to pay for our unit or whatever was not even close to enough to pay for a short film. So I just said, well, I'll pay for I just like, they came to me with a gig and I was like, how about I give you money?
Yeah.
And we did this short film and it's called That Was Awesome. And it really was awesome. I mean, it's funny, it's touching, it won awards, it went to so many film festivals. And I just was like, this is my thing. Like nobody has the same touching all the pieces of it with comedy experience and this intimate love for this community and exposure and experience with this communities. And I just was like, I want to write a comedy with a character with this kind of disability that's kind of from my experience of my life. So that's where this project came out of. And
so it was like you were struck kind of by a bolt of creative lightning when you made the short film, and it really just kind of I don't know, the tumblers just snapped into place. Isn't that a great feeling?
I think so. It's so cliche. People talk about discovering your voice. And, you know, I've been doing comedy for so long. I thought I figured my voice out a long time ago. But, you know, one of the things I always say is like, well, should be something it's only do, you know? And that's what I found with this stuff. It's like, I'm like, this is me, you know, nobody else can do it quite like this.
Right.
So I found my voice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what led you to, now, before we go further with the movie, what were you doing at Dad's Garage, and who's doing that now? And are you still involved with Dad's Garage? And maybe tell briefly a little bit what it is, because we have some listeners that aren't in Atlanta. So cool. I'll tell all 6 of them.
Hey, all 6 of y'all outside of ATL, thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Dad's Garage is like the Second City of the South. We're the big comedy theater of the Southeast. You know, we do improv. The big difference between Dad's and Second City is Second City does mostly sketch and Dad's does mostly improv. But we also do plays and musicals that we write and create that are all like hilarious and irreverent and dumb. And we do all kinds of big events and stuff. So yeah, Dad's is a big comedy theater here in Atlanta. I was the artistic director there for 10 years.
Yep.
And when I stepped down, I handed the reins over to John Carr, who became the new artistic director. And he had that job for less than a year before Second City actually scooped him up and made him their executive director. So now we're on our next artistic director, which is Tim Stoltenberg, and he's the interim right now. And they're going to do another big search, which he might end up being selected, but it's a kind of a totally open search.
Find somebody that's not like going to get snatched up by, I don't know, Upright Citizens Brigade or
UCB's looking for somebody.
Yeah.
But it's a compliment, huge compliment to our organization, right?
Yeah. And, you know, I think that one of the things we used to do early on, even before I got involved with media or being on the Regular Guy show or 96 Rock, was, hey, do you guys want to go to the Improv? Do you want to go to this place, Dad's Garage? I believe at the time it might have been in Inman Park. It was like a big bluish kind of building.
Big tin can.
Yeah, that's what it was. And we used to go see the Lucky Yates talk show, which was like an improvised talk show that was on stage and live, and you sat in the crowd. It was really cool. And you would have guests and stuff. I enjoyed that. And Lucky, by the way, was involved with Dad's. He is on Archer with your wife, Amber, and she is also on Archer, but we don't have to talk about it.
Lucky was also on Radio Labyrinth.
Yes.
So he's a friend of the show.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot it. We've been doing this for about 6 years now. So hello, Tim. Yes.
Congrats on 6 years.
Yeah, well, we just keep going at it. You know, I got the Von Hessler doctrine to help promote it, but you know, just Dad's Garage and the people who've been there have come on the radio shows that I've been involved with and stuff. So I like that. And again, of course, I took the class, but I interrupted you there. So,
oh no, we always appreciate the love, man. If you want to keep monologuing about how great Dad's is, I mean, we'll listen.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I've been to not very many. I've been to other improv places, but I've never had, I mean, they weren't terrible, but I'm just saying I've never had as much fun as being at Dad's. Just it's a blast.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on being really fun and really accessible. You know, there's all kinds of different flavors out there. So, you know, I'm not saying ours is better or worse than anybody else's, but we really take pride in our work and try to make sure that it always hits our standards, you know.
Awesome.
Tell us a little about the story of the movie, like the plot.
Okay, well,
as much as you can.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. Basically, it's a comedy. Well, you know, here's the interesting thing. Before I get into the story, I'll tell you this. I always wrote it as a comedy. I mean, there's F-bombs throughout. I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not say.
You say whatever you want.
Say whatever you want.
Okay, so she, like, you know, there's fucks everywhere. There's like really dirty jokes. Like the dad gets busted, like doing like sexual stuff with some lady. They're like, who's this? You know, like they like smoke weed with their brother that has a disability. They're like, shit, we never smoked weed with him. Why? Because he's disabled? That's bullshit. Let's fucking smoke weed with this dude. Like, it's such a comedy through and through.
That's great.
On a lark, I submitted it to a drama script competition, and it's still in progress, but I'm a semi-finalist script in this drama competition.
Wow, congrats.
So I don't even know what I wrote now. Now I'm confused. But so the story is about this comedian, and she lives far away from home. Much like myself, I'm originally from Canada. I've been living in Atlanta for a long time.
You're from Alberta?
Yeah, Edmonton, Alberta. Nice, dude.
Take off, eh?
Oh, I've never heard that before.
And she kind of, under duress, has to come back home to see her family. She'd rather be doing her career stuff, but her family's kind of busting her ass, so she kind of has to come home for the holidays. And, you know, hijinks ensue. You know what I mean? Her dad's a pain in the ass, and he's kind of getting older. Her brother is disabled, and so there's kind of some questions about, like, okay, so what's next for him? And then her sister's just a pain in the ass. She's like trying to copy her career, and it's just like, you're annoying me. Stop talking about improv. I don't give a shit about your improv class. So yeah, that's kind of the rough framework of it.
So Amber plays Nash.
Do some name dropping.
Yeah, the comedian, and then the dad, of course, is played by
Colin Mochrie from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Nice.
And then her brother is played by Luke Davis, who played the lead in the short film that I mentioned. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a few. When is this coming out? Is this live?
No, it'll go out Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday morning.
Okay. Next week, we'll be announcing a couple other cast members that are joining in smaller roles.
Okay.
Not late leads, you know, the kind of people that we can bring in and out and shoot in a day or whatever. But, you know, let's just say there might be somebody from Archer. There might be somebody from Adult Swim. This is the best I can do.
That's the best you can do. Adult Swim. Who could it be?
Is it Meatwad?
Not any more specific, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's Meatwad.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't do Meatwad. It was a terrible impression. So yeah, you can put the pieces together, maybe who that person from Archer might be, but maybe not. It could be somebody else. Yeah, when do you think that the film will be finished and ready to be distributed and released?
Yeah, so if all goes well, and by that I mean as long as the SAG COVID compliance restrictions are, you know, workable by December,
yeah,
then we'll be shooting in December.
Okay. So you haven't done any principal stuff. You've just done some promotional work.
Yeah, everything. I mean, we've got our script, we've got our cast, we've got our team. Everything's ready to roll. We're just kind of finishing this. This Kickstarter is like the last bit of money we need. We raised half of the budget privately, and then this Kickstarter is like the last chunk we need to make the movie.
Now, the link to the Kickstarter will be in the show description and also in the YouTube. It'll pop up right there for you. But if you watch the video, Luke Davis, to me, he's so funny. Some of the joke, I mean, some of the lines that he has, just even in the video, are hilarious. Now, tell us about Luke. I mean, he seems like a fun guy and somebody who's going to be successful. I think.
I think so too. I mean, when I started working with him, I was like, this guy is amazing. Let me say this project wouldn't be possible if I hadn't found Luke, the guy that could kind of raise that bar professionally and say, like, yeah, like, you know, I'm a disabled actor, but like, you know, throw me in the mix with anybody and I can hold my own, you know.
Right.
Which probably we'd see a lot more of if there was more opportunities for actors with disabilities, but I won't get on that soapbox of this. You know,
really are, no, you're right. You just the premise of the film is this is just a person, and this is this person's life. And this is what goes on around this person.
I think that's opening up though, where they're trying to be more inclusive of people, of, you know, differently able people in being cast as.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it's opening up. I think we're going to see more and more, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
But Luke is a great actor. Like, if you see the short film, because you can find it on YouTube, you just search Dad's Garage. That was awesome.
Yeah.
He's got some major laughs, like some very, very choice moments.
And not laughing at people, but laughing because of what they said or what they did, you know, because you're supposed to laugh at it. It's a joke.
And you know what? That's such a great point, because, you know, when I first made That Was Awesome,
mm-hmm.
and I watched this, I watched it and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever made, hands down. But then I would start to tell people about it, and people would start to cringe because they're like, wait, it's a comedy? Because it's not inspiration porn. It's like,
Yep.
And I'm like, what's the problem? But then when people watch it, they get it. But I think people are afraid that it's, how can you make comedy not be mean spirited or something? And it's because you don't see it. Some people don't even know like it's possible.
And depending on when you were born and grew up, people were always the target of the joke instead of being the people who delivered the jokes. And, we grew up, we're the last generation, that grew up in that kind of era where, oh, that's funny and ha ha ha, and let's make fun of this. And, we've seen the transformation where people aren't singled out because of who they are or what they may be, but they're just part of the story. And I think that, you hear a lot of talk about, like you said, woke porn or whatever, or what term did you use?
Inspiration porn.
Inspiration porn.
Term just to like say like reducing any disabled character to like, the purpose there is to inspire us with their bravery.
Right. But you can expand that to the casting decisions, and we're a big country with lots of different people from different backgrounds. So we're going through that transition right now. And in a couple of years, it won't even matter. It'll just be stories again. It'll be stories. I hope that's the case.
I hope so too. So
stories and people having relationships and getting along or not getting along, but it'll just be stories, and there won't be so much baggage attached to the story. And, I think a film like you're gonna make is a big step toward that. So I'm glad that you're doing it, and it looks very, very, very funny. I can't wait to see.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I at the end of the day, what I really want to make sure is that for anybody that just stumbles across it and just says, oh, I'm Colin Mochrie and Amber Nash and whoever else are in this comedy, I guess I'll watch it, that it just feels like a funny movie that happens to have a neurodiverse cast,
Yeah.
Give everybody an idea of the different levels that they can come in on your Kickstarter, if you can.
Well, if you are a baller and you want to be an executive producer on this project and you want to drop $5,000 into our Kickstarter, we love you. And hey, I will say all these donations are tax deductible because we're doing this project in partnership with Dad's Garage, which is a registered nonprofit. So all those donations are tax deductible. But if you're maybe the kind of person that doesn't just have $5,000 burning a hole in your pocket and you still want to, be a part of it, for $100, you can be credited as a Python wrangler. And there are no pythons that appear in the film. Is it a weird disguised dick joke? Probably. Either way, there's going to be in the credits of our film at this point about 100 python wranglers.
Nice.
Did you mention that the $500 one, or did I not? And I did not hear it.
Which I'm trying to remember off the top of my head which one that
Amber
is.
will insult you on Twitter.
Yes, Amber will insult you on Twitter for $500.
All right.
Us cheapskates, you got like a just watch the movie kind of donation.
At the very lowest level, $10. We'll send you a link to watch limited time, watch the movie when it comes out to the public. $10. There you go.
So like buying a movie ticket.
Basically, yeah. If you go up a little bit from there and you go to 25, then we'll let you see it before it goes out to audiences. Oh, because Tim, you were asking about like the timeline. We want to shoot this December.
Okay.
But then kind of all of next year, well, the first half of next year is getting it done and good.
Right.
And then hopefully it's like, what festivals can we get into? We want to get into the best possible festival, connect with the best distributor. So then depending on how that all goes, we might not be releasing for, quite a while, depending on the distribution strategy, or maybe we strike out, we don't find a distributor. Then we got to start knocking on doors and the whole thing starts to end up taking a long time. But if you give at least $25 or up, as soon as we're ready to shop at the festivals, we're going to give like a pretty broad window of online availability just to our supporters.
Cool. That's great. And how awesome will it be if next year we're not even thinking about COVID or vaccines or limit, and just people are going to film festivals again. I think people are going to be aching for that.
I hope so. I know I am.
Yeah, I haven't been to a movie in a very long time. And, I'm still kind of reticent to go. I'm like, hey, King Kong and Godzilla, that's on my TV set. I'm just going to watch it on my TV set. So,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting back to a movie theater. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I like watching stuff at home too, but it's just different in the theater. I think you would have enjoyed Godzilla versus King Kong better if you had watched it in a movie theater with an audience.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I would have too.
I just watched Nobody. Is that what it's called?
So good, wasn't it?
Oh, and I was just thinking, like, as far as films to watch in a movie theater, that would have, it was unbelievable on my TV, but in a movie theater, that would have been great.
So great. Christopher Lloyd.
Odenkirk, what a career. Now he's an action star. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk is an action star. That freaks me out.
I raved about it last week on the show here.
Well, you clearly are a man of high taste, because I also loved it.
Kevin, before we wrap up, is there anything we left out? And of course, give all the plug.
Yeah, give the links and everything.
Yeah. If you go to howtoruintheholidaysmovie.com, that'll take you to our Kickstarter. Okay. And I don't know. I don't think you left anything else out. We talked so much. This was like a really in-depth, a lot of the media we do is kind of like, give us the 30-second pitch. Best of luck. Good luck. But this was really good.
Well, do you have anything else you want to plug, or any place people can follow you if you're that type of person? Or
yeah, I mean,
have anything coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, you could follow the project on Twitter, Ruin the Holidays, or Instagram, How to Ruin the Holidays. My social media handles are Gillese, Gillese on everything, but like nobody wants to follow like writer producers. People want to follow like the actors. So like, go find Amber, go find Luke, go find the cast and follow them.
Donate money so Amber can insult you.
You deserve it.
Yes.
You piece of trash.
Yes. Kevin, thank you for coming on, man. It was awesome talking to you about the movie, and please keep us updated with what's going on. And when it's ready to go, of course, we'll certainly promote it.
I sure will. Thanks for having me, guys. And yeah, I'll see you soon.
Did both you guys watch the Kickstarter video?
Yeah, I've seen the short.
Oh, you seen the short? Okay, great.
You couldn't wrangle Pam Pouvet to come on a little.
Well, I didn't ask. It's Kevin's project, and she has her own.
I mean, he's married to her. She could have popped in and said hello.
I hope she was sitting right across from him, and she's like, I hate them.
She was holding the camera.
Yeah. Yes. No, that was great. So thank you, Kevin. And like I said to everybody listening or viewing, we'll have all the links and everything. Please go check it out, because
and just buy the $10 ticket if you're a cheapskate like me. I mean, I'll do that, but
yeah.
If you got a little extra to kick around, so do more. But
even
just at the very least, let's all pay to watch this movie.
Yeah, and again, a movie like this isn't making fun of the character or the person that's playing the role. It's this is this person's life, and that's what we need more of these days. So, thank you.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, you would. That he's very funny. He's very funny. You got to watch the teaser video, and then Dustin, why don't we share the that was awesome? A link to that was awesome.
Let's do that.
Yeah, no problem. It's 18 minutes. So yeah, it's you can get it down, but it's a nicely cut, tight 18 minutes.
Before we wrap up, I want to say on a personal note, thank you to our I want to say one of our number one listeners. All of our listeners are number one, but I got a nice message from Roby the other day about fatherhood, and I really appreciated it. So thank you for that. And if you are somebody with a charitable heart and you're looking for a pet to keep your house, from being less lonely, go to barkvilledogrescue.org. And I do believe that for a couple more days, the raffle is still up, and we've been talking about that. But barkvilledogrescue.org. It's what Steph's been pushing for a long time. Not pushing, but what's Steph's care. And go ahead, Jeff.
We should mention that Steph's got stuck at work and couldn't be here tonight.
Oh yeah. She didn't just up and quit.
After last week's when she led the show so bravely.
Yeah.
She was tuckered out, I guess.
She did a great job, though. Y'all did. So thank you guys for covering for me. And I guess until our very next show, please remember to keep it. Fucking Ira. Oh, yeah, Ira will come on when I'm not out.
it.